All right, so many cross currents, so many things going on with the Dow of about 300 points. JP Morgan Chase chief economist Anthony Chan on all these developments. Anthony, the tax cuts right now were a big reason for Apple's big numbers. In fact, for close to half of the companies reporting, they've been the wind at their back. So it's pretty clear from a Wall Street, from an investment perspective, they're good. But along come a number of people elsewhere to say, from Marco Rubio and a host of others, no, we wish there would be more bang for the buck for individuals. What's the real skinny on this?
Well, Neil, the real skinny on this is that the unemployment rate is 3.9%. So we're not going to create as many jobs as we would have created in October of 2009 if we got a stimulus when the unemployment rate was 10%. But keep in mind, we're not doing bad. When you see 164,000 jobs being created in a given month, and we know the organic amount of jobs based on labor force growth, it should be something closer to 85,000. And people say, well, the unemployment rate went down by 3 to 3.9% because you had a 236,000 decline in the labor force. Well, guess what, Neil? If you look at the last 12 months, the labor force is up 1.3 million, averaging 112,000 per month, again, in excess of the organic amount. That's impressive in my book.
You know, Paul Krugman called it a nothing burger this morning, which is weird to me because, you know, I don't like anything on my burgers, come to think of it, so a nothing burger would be just fine. But that it didn't have nearly the bang for the buck that Republicans said. Now, you alluded to all these other developments and facts, but where would we be without it? I mean, if all things and rates were equal and we were comparing, you know, the top tax rate to what it was, then what it would be now, how different would some of these reports be?
Well, keep in mind that the economy is going to grow a little faster because of this tax cut. And these are not just my numbers. The Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, they have Democrats and Republicans, are estimating that GDP will grow over time because of the tax cuts. It's simple numbers. If you all of a sudden give corporations more money and you tell them that when you invest, you can depreciate instantly, they're going to invest more. And when they invest more, you're going to need more workers to be able to man that technology or man that equipment that you're going to be able to expense instantly. The issue, however, Neil, is that we have a shrinking labor force or people to choose from. And by the way, while that may seem like a bad thing, it absolutely gives opportunity to workers that were shunned in a labor market that is much easier, has an easier stance. When the unemployment rate is 10%, employers are very picky about who they hire. When the unemployment rate is very low, guess what? They hire people that otherwise would be overlooked. As a minority member, I'm half Hispanic. I'm very excited to see the Hispanic unemployment rate reach at one of the lowest levels. I'm excited about the fact that the black unemployment rate is at the lowest level since they've been keeping records. Remember, at 6.6%, it's much lower than that rate of 16.9% at the peak of the global financial crisis. It is many of these individuals and these groups that have not gotten opportunities and wouldn't get an opportunity when companies can just pick anybody that they want. Now, all of a sudden, many of these employees are getting in opportunities to get trained. And by the way, when they get that opportunity, guess what happens? The next time they get a job, they already have experience. Look at companies like BNSF offering $25,000 bonuses over a period of 3 years for workers because they just can't find bodies.
Yeah,
these are great opportunities.
For those kids and then young people in general, you'd hope to see that spread. We'll watch what happens. Anthony, thank you very, very much.
My pleasure.
There is another wild card on all of this. What happens with trade?